Welcome to Sage Sisters. We are sisters, besties, moms, and co-founders having a fun catch-up on parenting and life. Hey, I'm Ann.
And I'm Kate. Welcome to Sage Sisters.
Welcome back. I feel like I am getting a little outlet, like almost like a girls' night outlet by potting with you today because my kids have been stuck home from like snow, ice, whatever. I talked about it last week. Everybody in the Midwest knows what we're talking about. My kids are still not back.
No one in California.
No one in California.
No one in California.
Yeah. You didn't even know we were having a winter storm.
No, but when you called yesterday and said you had a tear in your eye and said they're out again tomorrow, I felt it in my soul for you.
Well, last week I was mentally prepared. I knew we were going to be out all week. I just was like, I got this. Phil and I were like working well. Yesterday, I could see us both breaking when we got the call. Mm-hmm. Like we both were like,
too much.
I'm going to go in the other room for a minute and just sit. You know, we were snapping at each other a little bit for no reason.
Cabin fever.
Yeah.
Cabin fever.
And we were able to at least get to the gym today where they have a kid academy so the kids can play and like hang out with people. And that's good for us just to get them away from each other too.
And it wasn't booked up today?
We got in yesterday and we got in today. It's literally been booked the rest of the time. Mm-hmm. So the last 2 days I've felt like back on track with like getting to be able to do a workout and have the kids like do something. So that's been good. But anyways, I was just like so excited to pod. You and I were gabbing, just like prepping for the pod before we turned on record. And I was like laughing at myself, treating this like a girls' night.
I love it. Well, it always is a girls' night. Welcome to Sage Sisters, girls' night.
That's true.
On a Monday morning.
That's true. Exactly.
It is a fun way. I always love the kicking off a work week with like, you know, you ease into it a little bit.
It's the perfect recording time for me mentally. Yeah. I always have a good time.
All right. So what's your high?
Well, I have a few. So I'm going to rattle them off. Okay. So first, Lola and Phil are going to a daddy-daughter dance this coming weekend, and she wanted to go get a dress. And so I was like, this is perfect. So we needed a little outlet. So on Friday, I took the two girls out, and we ended up going to Dillard's just in the Cool Springs Mall here.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, a lot of options. I guess maybe there's more.
Dillard's is Dillard's is always good, especially for dresses and coats. I
had no idea. We had like 15 dresses to try on because she was going around. I was like, I thought we were going to have like 3. So I was like, well, pick what you want, you know, and we'll just take them all to the dressing room. And she was loading her arm up. I was laughing. We had so many. But this dress she picked is so sweet. I'll post it. But it is just like,
what's it look like?
It's like kind of turquoise, like a bright blue, but it has pink and purple flowers on it. And it's nicer. So it's got like a little belt like built into it, which is like diamonds. And then it's long and flowy. So she is feeling herself. And it's like the perfect cut because it goes above the ankle so she can't trip. But it just...
Could it double as an Easter dress?
Well, I was thinking Easter and I was thinking our cousin Rachel's wedding. I was like, I think we could wear this all the way around. But it was just so sweet. And so we did that. And she just was lighting up and Lily kept trying on stuff. It was pretty funny. She, you know, she couldn't... She was just... there to be, you know, she wanted to be a part of it but really wasn't, and it was so cute. Anyways, we had a good time.
Well, I told you I went shopping with Grace the weekend before, but like what a treat when your girls get old enough that they're fun to shop with, when they're not, you know, there's an age where it's like, can I have this, can I have this, can I have this, and you're like, cool it.
Yeah. Lola was so fun, and Lily was, like I said, she was along for the ride because, you know, we tried to...
You got to just keep the treats and the things.
Well, and at the end, I pushed it a little close to nap time, and she was literally laying in the like aisle. I had to like pick her up and potato sack her out of the place. I was like, we stayed a little too long, but yeah, it was cute. So that was 1. 2, we had a tree down, and from the storm, lots of limbs.
Yeah.
And people have been going around to all the houses, getting quotes for how much it will be to like cut up a tree. People are charging like $2,000 to come in and cut up a tree. Mm-hmm. I have a husband. He went out there with our neighbor and just got rid of our tree. And I'm like, everybody else is like, well, who'd you hire? I was like, my husband. He did it. And I was like, so proud of him.
What tools? Just with a chainsaw?
Yeah, chainsaw. They were like lifting this tree. You should have seen them. I recorded it. It's like they were just out there
send me that content.
being men.
Well, this is Protein Peter at his finest here.
It was working. I was like, listen, I like what I see out there. You're doing this thing and we don't have to spend any money, and everybody else around the neighborhood.
He was so sick of you and the kids. He's like, I'll do it. Get me outside for
100%.
Perfect.
It is 100% accurate. He was ready to get out, and there's not a lot of yard work in the winter, so he was going to make some.
Now, did they like turn it into wood chips, or they just turned it into little stumps, or what do you do with the tree?
There are people that are coming around to pick up large limbs and things. You just have to get it out to your street. So they were able to cut up some, I think, for firewood. We have a couple stumps. I don't know what he plans to do, but he's like, look at that cool stump. We could do something with it. I'm like, what are we going to do with the tree stump?
Isn't there like a commercial or something where some guy's out there carving, chainsaw sculptures?
He has a weird obsession to, like, anytime we see these people at like the fairs in Franklin or whatever that like carve wood, he's always talking to them for a long time, longer than he should, about like their art. So who knows? Maybe he will be out there.
Although, what a hot hobby. I could see Phil doing some woodworking.
I don't know. I
kept trying to push Chris into it for a while because he likes that. He did it with his dad growing up, and I'm like, I kind of want the stuff.
Yeah.
So then I was kind of pushing it. And at one point, he was like, "Cool, quit pushing me."
Well, our neighbor Glenn does woodworking a lot, and I think Ellie likes it. But Ellie's like, "Listen, it's been a long time. I've been asking for this, one piece," and he tends to lean on the other request more than the home request. So I do think he finished a couple projects that were good, but I don't know if you always receive the benefits at home.
I'm also wondering if it's one of these hobbies where it's like you go to the orchard and you spend $35 to get some fresh picked apples that you could have bought at the store for a third the price.
It's like you go to Home Depot and just get a couple things and be similar.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, the tree was working.
But it's hot. I'll give you that. It's hot.
Well, and then the last thing, I took said hot husband. We had a parent night out and we needed it last week. And we went and just sat at the bar, posted
This is where your gym watches the kids and then you get a couple hours.
Exactly. So we got in, we had a little date night. We got to go sit at the bar. It was crowded. There were a lot of people around here feeling stir crazy. But it was just fun. It was like we split these little lobster rolls, Caesar salad and fries. It was like my perfect meal. Anyways, so those were all highs and all different. So I had to bring them all up.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah. What was your high?
We had a good weekend. We've started doing Friday family nights, and I've really started to cherish this tradition where it's becoming such a important ritual for us, where it's like the kids look forward to it. Chris and I like hold the calendar at all costs.
I love that.
So it's been sweet. So we just had a nice family night, caught up on Traders and Beast games, and had a family dinner.
I was going to say, what do you do, the same family dinner, or is it different every time?
No, we mix it up, but it's usually like a home cooked meal, and they like it because they get dessert and we watch either a movie if we find one that we like, or sometimes we just kind of catch up on our shows. But they know it's, family dinner plus cuddles.
There's nothing better, in my opinion. I know that says our age, which is, it used to be like, oh, life in our 30s. Now it's 40. Life in our 40s. But it's like, it's so true. Like a chill Friday night with the family in. Like, what a great, and our kids are at the perfect age. Pretty soon they won't want to hang. It's like, wave it in.
Yeah. And then Friday, every year in the past, we've gone to the Olympic Club, had this like crab feet party, and one of our buddies, they're Olympic Club members, and we've been going for years with them. But it just didn't work out this year with schedules, and they have little kids and yada yada. So Chris was like, let's recreate it at our house. So we had a crab dinner with just two other families. Their kids came and just got the crab at Costco. But that, it felt special. It felt fun.
Absolutely.
And this is like a high and a low, but my house, Saturday morning, I look around, I was like, sweet Jesus. I needed a kick in the pants to clean my own home.
Yeah, totally. Sometimes
and I did. Yeah. So it was like, did I have the best Saturday ever? No, I cleaned all day, but man, I needed it. I got laundry done. I cleaned the house. I needed it after third party.
Like, regardless of party, it's like to just have your house feel back in order is nice.
Yeah. And I guess I did need that little extra motivation. So
I saw this reel that was like this girl who's like showing her house, and she was like, don't judge. This is how people really live. and the comment section was lighting her up because it was so messy. And everyone's like, this is not how people live. This is filth. Like clean this up for your kids. And then like they're going to have OCD when they grow older because you're like creating it. So I just kind of laughed because I was like,
I love how that's in your feed. You're such a clean freak. You're literally getting.
I don't comment, but I would have commented like, "No, that is not how people like." It was too dirty. Like I was literally getting hives watching it. I was like,
yeah,
oh my god, why do you have all those dishes out? Why is nothing put away? Why are all the toys? It was just like, I understand that like my house looks way more lived in this week than ever before, and I'm like, I'm chill about it. I'm chill. But like, that was disgusting. I'm sorry.
Well, I guess if you're going to give Phil a shout out, I better give one out to Chris here. Yeah. He cooked the whole meal.
Yeah.
He did he even went grocery shopping. So I was delegated to make the house look pretty, which trust me was a full-time job, all caps, because we had let it get away from us there. Yeah. But it is nice. I mean, I did no prep of food, dinner. That's a big deal.
What a man. Cutting the crab. Getting the crab out of the crab legs,
snapping that crab and pulling it out,
just like
melting,
just like a tree branch.
He made a great Caesar salad. He made a great pasta. He made garlic bread.
So good.
Let's give credits where it's due. Men who can cook.
Okay, I'll snap.
Men who can cut trees.
Men who can cook.
And men who can cook. All right. What's your low?
Okay, I'll tell you. This has been a debate this week. Like, are we have power, thank goodness. But like our house has been cold because the weather outside is colder and we haven't really changed the temperature of the house. Therefore, it's colder. And I'm like, I am literally cold to my bone. Like it's a chill that I just can't shake. It's like I come in for hours and I still feel as cold. And my hands are cold. Sauna. Like, yeah, of course. But like last week we weren't. My hands are cold. And Phil, like I'll crawl into bed and put my hands on his face. And he's like, why are you so cold? I'm like, exactly. And I'm like, and he's like literally in no shirt, like sweating. He's like, I'm hot. He's turning the fan on. I'm like, the fact that you're turning the fan on is wild to me. So we had this question and I simply asked, why am I so cold compared to you? So he started to chat GPT this thing. And AI did me dirty. AI literally response was basically women tend to be colder because they're fatter. I mean, that was basically it. It was like you're holding more body fat and muscle warms you up more. And at the end of it, it literally said, if you need a polite way to tell your wife, let me know. Like that, it was like cueing him to ask.
Did he say
yes, of course. We were doing it together. And then it was like the most hilarious, like, we're built different, like.
Tough
but fair. And I was like, oh, that hurts a lot. But I am still very cold. But sorry, so now we keep being like, anytime I'm cold, he's making fun of me. So I'm just like, well, fatty over here is cold.
You're like, damn it.
Yeah, damn it. That's not the answer I wanted, ChatGPT, but it might be the correct one.
You can't handle the truth.
The cueing of like, do you need a politer way to say this to your wife was so funny. I couldn't stop.
Yeah, that's good.
Anyways, all right. What's your low? Good.
Well, I had to sign my kids up for fall soccer yesterday and pay in full. Yeah, August. Does that feel like the time to sign up? Is February 1st? I think not. I wanted to hurt some people.
I'm still trying to do summer
camp signups. Camp signups is this week and next week.
So I'm like, I feel behind because my friends were doing it in January and I wasn't ready. So I literally told Phil, this week I got to get it together. I got to sit down and do summer camps. But we're Feb 1st and I'm feeling behind for summer camps.
Every year I go through this rage. But I'm like, it's too early. We're not organized. We don't know summer yet. Like, we're not ready.
It's just, I don't even, and paying up front. Like, I get why they do it, but it's so
heartbreaking.
That's dirty. And it's not even like a 50% deposit.
This should be a hotel room.
Yeah.
Either I don't pay till it's there, but you have my card, or it's a modest security deposit now. that, and then the main charge happens when it happens. Like, you don't have expenses yet. You're not paying your staff yet. You don't have to pay venue fees this early. Like, you're making money on this cash flow.
Yeah.
You dirty dogs.
It's frustrating. And I know every mom has this. I went on a girls' night the other week and we were talking about it. And they stressed me out because they were like, oh, you haven't gotten into blah, blah, blah.
You don't have a spreadsheet?
Yeah,
you don't have your spreadsheet ready?
Oh, you didn't sign up yet? Oh, I think it's booked. It's waitlisted. It's like, okay, well, we're not doing that one then. I'm going to find one that'll get us in, but like, it's really annoying. And I will say, once summer hits, it's really nice to have already paid. Like, and be like, oh, yeah, whatever, it's free. Like, feel like it's free. But right now,
have I ever heard of?
Exactly. But pushing the trigger for like a couple $1,000s if you're booking a lot of camps throughout the summer is so like it's tearful.
Yeah. I'm not the kind of person that wants to have a spreadsheet for the summer at early February. Like, I'd like some flexibility. I'd like to, we haven't even finalized what days we're going to be gone for Rachel's wedding in Chicago. We haven't finalized flights yet for July 4th. Yeah. Grace and I want to do a trip for her birthday. It's like, then the pressure is you got to book the whole thing because otherwise what weeks are you available? And you don't want to pay for a camp that then, they miss part of. That's the ultimate waste. I'm trying hard not to do that. Yeah. Well, I know. Right. So it's just like forcing pain. This whole, like, this week I was like, I got to plan all summer. I got to just tighten everything up. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to.
I feel you.
Damn you.
I feel you.
Damn you.
Oh, all right.
I have one more low. Can I get?
Sure.
Can I just?
Yeah.
This is gonna be the world's longest pod here.
I think last week's was.
Well, we have a family friend who used to be our au pair and then has lived in our casita with her sweet little baby, who has kind of like become my, either niece or grandbaby. I don't know how you want to put it, but I have this baby is mine. Yeah. If you see me with her, it's like,
she's so cute. She's so cute.
We've been obsessed, and it's been such a gift that my kids have had this adorable little baby where they can, be older siblings. Anyways, they moved out this weekend.
Oh, I know. I'm so sorry.
I'm happy for them. It's a good life step forward for them. And of course, like, I love them and want what's best for them. And I am going to miss them. And my little Bianchi's, I'm going to miss her so much. So Grace and I both were in our feelings on Saturday when they left. And we were moping around. And
I know you've got to like plan out a couple like play date moments so you can see them, like have that in the books, but it's hard. Oh, I know.
It's hard.
I know. I'm sorry.
My grandbaby's moving away and I feel really sad.
That's what the parents think when you move to California, just so you know.
Oh, cool. Way to make it my fault.
Didn't make it your fault. Just relatable.
All right. What's on your mind before we didn't even tease the topic, which maybe I'll tease now.
Let's do it.
Okay. There has been a lot in at least my feed and the news about AI. So I thought it'd be a good time to just, how are we thinking about AI for our kids? How do we use AI? Just like a good combo on all things. How do you mom through the new era of AI?
Yeah. And a lot is changing literally every day.
Literally.
Okay.
But before there, what's on your mind?
Grammys. I didn't watch. I'm going to preface this by saying I did not really watch a lot of the Grammys. And, I didn't even look at a ton of the fashion. But there were a couple acts. Is that what you call it? Like acts? Stage? Yeah. Performances,
probably.
That I just really liked. And I don't know. I just thought maybe if you've seen it, we could just say a couple things about the Grammys.
Okay. Well, I got on TikTok this morning and caught up on some performances. And then once I saw some outfits, then I started, did my little Vogue, all the outfits, quick look. But I will say it wasn't like the Golden Globes where I watched it and had all these opinions. So and I know we just did the Golden Globes, best and worst dress. So maybe just like, what's your skim the top of Grammys
all I'm going to say is there were a lot of good performances, but the two that stood out for me just because of my interest or like was Olivia Dean, who I just shouted out in my favorite obsession song, Man I Need.
Did you watch her?
Yes.
Her performance.
I just really like her. And like, one, she's stunning. Two, that voice and her tone and just her vibe, I'm so here for. It was a simplistic performance, but so good. And I love her. She's my new favorite. And so like I'm rooting for her.
You and I are so normies though, because I was like, you and I thought we had like a cool, like, oh, we're into Olivia Dean. It's like she won Artist of the Year. It's like we're not that
well,
cool.
you know what's funny though is I started to research her after we were talking about that on the pod a couple weeks ago, and she's actually been around since like 2016. She had an album release. She just hasn't hit. So Man I Need was the hit she needed this year. So now she won Best New Artist. But I have never said my favorite song and then said person won Best New Artist afterwards. I actually still think we were ahead of the game. We said that before she won Best New Artist. Now people are going to be jumping on it.
This is feeling like when I'm like, oh, my favorite song. And then I find out it came out 4 years earlier or something.
Well, I did laugh. I was like, she's been out for a while. I found out about her recently. I've now become obsessed, and I shouted her out before she won any Grammy.
Oh, you're on the cutting edge. No, but she was excellent. And then I was going through the performances. Sabrina Carpenter must be shouted out.
I think she's perfect.
She's all I want in a pop star. You know,
that's perfectly said. Fun. Perfectly said. She's all you want in a pop star. Her performance though is worth a little look-ski. It was like airport retro. You know, she's got that whole pinup girl vibe, but it was so fun. It was just fun. She's like the new Britney Spears, if you will, not to relate her at all to like Britney, but like back then she was all you wanted in a pop star. You know what I mean? Like her performances were giving every time. You were like, oh, I can't wait to see what Britney does.
There's a maturity though to Sabrina that like Britney was a kid.
Well, totally you know what I mean? True. Totally true.
Yeah.
It's not the same, but the excitement I had back then for Britney is the excitement I have every time where I'm like, yeah, that was perfect. That was great.
It was very fun.
Yeah.
And then I also like Justin. Did you see Justin Bieber?
That was my second one. So I was only going to call out Olivia Dean, but then Justin was a close second. So in our household, Justin Bieber's been a crowd favorite. Ace has loved Justin Bieber for a very long time. Now, he did say Justin's looking older. He was like, he looks different. Like, it was a little bit of a adjustment for him seeing Justin now versus like the Justin he like was obsessed with a couple years ago when we would watch those music videos online. But I liked it. I mean, he was in boxers. I wasn't quite understanding why the boxers, but I loved his song and his.
It was kind of vulnerable. Yeah. It was like a stripped down
I loved it.
Song.
I thought it was. I really liked it, and I love seeing him back. And like he is very vulnerable and has been. And you know, we all know, like speaking of child stars, it's like eeks. You know, like he's been through a lot. So I love to see that he's back.
I had to laugh. My feed, you know how it always like has a little caption on it, but it's like attracted to Justin Bieber against my will. Yeah. It was like that kind of hits.
Do you remember a couple of years ago when you were like, I don't know why Olivia Wilde's dating Harry Styles, and then I went down a rabbit hole and then I got it. Like I understood. I feel the same with Justin. It's like he's old enough for me to say he's attractive, but it's weird because he still feels younger for me. Maybe because Ace is into his music. You know, it's like it's not. He's actually older than you think, but to me, it still feels creepy to be like, oh, Justin Bieber's hot. I actually said like when he came on screen, I was like, oh, he's toned, you know, like, ooh.
Yeah, there's a couple of these where you kind of go,
yeah. And then it's just like the reality sets in of like, I'm aging too. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Okay. I think the next Grammy commentary could morph nicely into our topic.
Right.
So I liked Lauryn Hill's performance partially because like I grew up with Lauryn Hill and she's just been like not on the scene forever. So I was like excited to watch her perform a little bit, and she still has that cool voice and like was cool. There was and over the top
cooler than Miseducation, I think it was called. With that,
the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
That was so good. Then she kind of fell off. I think she had some bad.
I just think I don't know. You get sick of fame. Fame seems gross.
Yeah, it does. It really does, actually. Okay. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. So go on.
Okay. So then, but she was out because she was doing a tribute to D'Angelo, who I didn't realize had passed away. So then I go to my AI, which I've switched to Claude. We'll talk about that. But go to Claude, type in, did D'Angelo die? If yes, when and how? And it responds, I'm so sorry to break this news to you.
It was like responding like a message,
Like a
like a
friend.
person.
Yeah, but it was like,
Interesting.
I'm so sorry to tell you this. D'Angelo did die in October of pancreatic
I
cancer.
missed
And
that
I was like,
too.
oh, I don't know. I missed it. But D'Angelo was another one. I mean, if Lauryn Hill was in my playlist, D'Angelo was in I had like an R&B, I was cruising in my red Prelude,
Yeah.
listening to D'Angelo.
Oh, that red Prelude that got passed down to me as well. Loved it.
Yes. So that was R.I.P.
Yeah.
D'Angelo. It was sad news that Claude had to break for me. It was sad news.
Yeah, I did not know that. Well,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay. Well, so let's move into the topic of AI and our kids.
Yes.
And maybe I'll just tee up because I think for me, like why this sort of felt relevant exactly now is our buddies over at Common Sense Media had a survey report come out last week about AI companions. So I don't know if everybody even knows what that is. So I'll just give a little primer.
I was going to say, dumb it down just a little bit because there's a lot of stuff out there. So just make it very clear.
Yeah. Well, like a lot of people use AI, ChatGPT, Claude AI to get like Q&A style. Hey, what's this? Hey, why do I feel so cold? You're fat. That kind of back and forth.
Right. You suck, Claude.
Yeah. But it is very good at natural language now. So like even when I said, when did D'Angelo die and how, it's like, I'm so sorry to tell you this. So it like starts having this conversational tone. So people have subsequently started speaking to it like a friend. So a companion could just be ChatGPT, but instead of saying, why do women feel cold? They're saying like, oh, I had a hard day.
Yeah.
And it will respond like, oh, I'm so sorry. What happened? Like it will respond in conversational tone. So I had a friend from Stanford tell me she uses it for therapy. And like people are just using it in all these new ways to have this.
Now I can get into that in a little bit. I had some immediate reactions to therapy with that. So go on.
Okay. But just this is the type of when we say companion, we mean conversational where it feels like a real person. And last year, some of the more popular platforms, including Snapchat, which is really the main messaging app that a lot of teens, like middle school, high school, use to converse with their friends, added an AI feature where you can personalize, you can make it name anything, you can change its profile to anything, you can change its personality. So you can customize your friend.
Yeah.
And then a lot of teens are now acting like this is a friend and they talk to it like a friend. And
so like to go to Snapchat, like you would see a friend message, it's literally right there. So it's as if
in the mix, as if it's a friend.
And if you're a parent looking at their Snapchat for whatever reason, you would not know if it was a bot or AI or if it's a friend. That's weird to me.
Correct. And I could make it look like you. I mean, I could name it Anne and make it look like you. And I could in my mind almost feel like I'm talking to you. But it is actually.
And so can you just say too, because I think that I had to educate myself a little bit, but beyond Snapchat, what are other things and tools that kids are using, teens, to talk to it like a real person?
Well, one of the early apps was an app called Character AI. Yeah. And this was one of the first, like, you can fully personify and have all these conversations. And it got in huge amounts of trouble and publicity last year when a few kids committed suicide and they looked back and their character AIs were giving them like really horrible advice, prompts, and things like that. So they hit a bunch of lawsuits and like shut down a bunch of stuff and have like changed that product. But that was one of the first ones. And now, and I even texted like a couple of the teens in our teen advisory panel and talked to our sister and asked my nieces what they were using. It seems like the most popular one is still ChatGPT and just talking to it like a friend. But I do know that the Snapchat one came up from our teen advisory board.
Sorry, I have it
of like, oh yeah, a lot of my friends you like talk to that. And
sorry,
it's okay.
I've got a 3-year-old interrupting me. Okay, go ask him right now that mommy said to go share.
I did.
Okay, go try again and say, use my word. Mommy said to share. Sorry.
So cute. That's okay.
Real life here.
Hashtag real life.
Okay, continue.
So I talked to the teen advisory panel. I had texted our sister and had her ask our nieces. And it seems like the most popular one is just either ChatGPT or Claude, and they're just using it in a companion way. But I also heard from our teen advisors that a lot of their friends use the Snapchat one. So I think that's kind of the most common ones right now.
I think that I was a little bit taken back, though, when I found out that I just assumed that if I kept them away from like character AI, they'd be fine. You know, like when I first heard of all those issues with character AI, I'm like, well, okay, I just won't do that. That doesn't, like, I don't want them having a companion anyways. That is not real. So like, strong pass. And now it's like, oh, on basic things that kids are using every day, now there's a version that you can communicate and have your own messaging. Like, I do not like that.
So I kind of thought, you know, who would do that? That's not how I use AI. So I couldn't quite picture it. But then this Common Sense Media report sort of made my eyeballs blow out of my head. So 72% of teens from 13 to 17 have used AI companions. So most.
That's wild to me.
Half of them use them regularly, multiple times a month. And this is the one that kind of stopped me in my tracks. A third of them use these companions for social interactions and relationships. So
that is uncomfy for me. Now, I just want to say the use of ChatGPT or Claude in the way that I use it, I'm fine with teens using that. You know, it's like research. It's almost like Googling something nowadays, which is better results.
It's information. Yeah, it's search.
I do not know how anybody can learn, because if I was in school needing to write papers and all the things that I had to do back then, and I had access to ChatGPT, I know this is a whole other issue, but it's like, I can't write anything on my own anymore. I just put it in there and it helps me write it better. Like these kids are not learning skill sets that they need to learn if they're using it for those purposes. And then you talk about,
I think that brings up a good question. Like, they're going to live in a world with AI, right? Like we're not going to go back to a place where they won't have access to these tools when they're in the workforce.
Totally.
So it is a bit like it's the new, do I need to learn cursive?
Yeah, you're right.
Who uses cursive? Or do they need to teach it? Like on one hand, it's a brain function. You learn how to write, you learn how to read it. You never know when you might need it. Like all of those same justifications could be for how to read a long format and be able to distill something down in your brain. And like the ability, like one of AI's best skills is being able to summarize large quantities of data. Right. So like I use it and you use it, I know, but for it's like, give me a brief, give me a quick overview of this concept.
Or like, this is a contract that I can't decipher. Tell me what I need to know about it. Like it is so good for stuff like that. But like, look, it goes with everything else. We have to evolve with technology to survive, but also it's a little like we don't know what the results will be. So I saw a study that was
so let's talk. Yeah,
if you like, they did a study on multiple older people that did not have dementia, and they then studied them 10 years later. And anyways, there was a significant amount of people, and they took the group that didn't have any dementia and they kind of analyzed them versus the group that did start to have dementia or symptoms of things similar to that. And the one commonality that came up, which wasn't food, it wasn't exercise every day, it was that they hand wrote, like every couple of days they would handwrite something. And so then they were saying like, that's an interesting skill set that kept them sharp. And maybe our skill sets will change and what will keep us sharp will be different. But it's kind of alarming to think, okay, this skill set that is completely going away is something that kept them from dementia. Like what will just be of the next generation coming up who doesn't write anything by hand ever, or doesn't even know how to write cursive. Right. You know, it's like that whole concept. It's like, what will come years from now without the ability to sit down and write your own paper? Because those kids aren't going to learn that now because the teachers can't say like,
yeah, they can. I mean, right now,
their homework's going to be paper, and then they're going to be doing ChatGPT and figuring out how to make it look better.
Professors are adapting. Yeah. which I think is interesting. Like they will have tests where they have a piece of paper and they have to write it in person, for example. Like there are ways to test skills that eliminate the use of AI. And I think teachers and professors are having to get really creative and think about how to teach skills. And a lot of them have embraced AI, said like, okay, I'm going to, people learn differently, and we're going to use class time in a different way. But let's put a slate pin on that, because the reality is we have no idea what the long-term effect of AI is. Period. It's new. We don't know.
Right.
But one of the things that scares me more than even are kids going to get dumber is the loss of social connection.
Yeah.
So there was a book that was like really powerful for me called Bowling Alone by Robert Putnam. I read it last year. And this was actually just like a zoom out of like what's going on here. And it goes back to like post World War II kind of shifts. But it talks about like the introduction of television and how that really changed the social fabric. And then highways came in and people started moving to the suburbs. And now life, like successful life in America, looked like comfort. I thought of your comfort creatures, but it's like, do you have these things and are you comfortable? And then do you have privacy? And like what we valued sort of shifted over generations. And this was like long before the internet and long before social media, but these shifts started. And then their 24/7 news started on television. And parents started to get more anxious. And then I don't know if I want my kids playing outside as much. And like, what if they get abducted? And like that started shifting how parents were thinking about this just go outside all the time kind of thing. And then religion has gone down. So all of these places where you found community in the olden times, through your church, or you were part of these community organizations. Like if you look at enrollment and all of those, they've dropped. And this was talking about the bowling leagues, but like adults just are not in as many community things. There aren't bowling leagues anymore. People are too busy, And then comes the internet. And now, especially for white collar workers who have computer jobs, you can now work at any time of the day. Now that's awesome for some things, gives you flexibility. You can be maybe more present with your kids because you can pick them up at 2:30, but it also created this world where, well, at night I might need to log back on, or, the never ending blur now between
life and work,
being online and being offline. And I don't know, it's created this epidemic of people being more lonely and more separated from community. And I thought this was interesting. 35% report having less than 3 close friends, and 17% of adults report having no close friends.
That's really sad.
It is sad. But like, that's how you kind of go, how did we get here? And you kind of look back and it's like, well, that's what happens. And you look at TV. So since TV got invented, humans have pretty consistently watched about 3.5 hours of TV a day.
Yeah.
But here's what's interesting. When phones came out, it didn't cut into the TV time. It added 4.7 additional hours on screens.
That's crazy. You're right.
In addition to the 3.5 hours of TV. Now that has cut into community time, time with friends, time, when you were out and about, sitting on your front porch, like whatever it was. Like people have regressed from being in society because it's more comfortable and the content's so good and like it's so personalized and you feel like you're connecting with people through social media. So it's like, but you look at that, and this is adults I'm talking about, it's like we're on either TV or our phones more than 7 hours every day.
What makes me uncomfortable is when you're out and you see people in a social setting that is not socializing because they're on their phones or whatever. And I know we've talked about this before. It's so common with teens and adults. But like, even when we were sitting at the bar at our date night I was talking about for my high, and it was like so social. People were talking with each other because we had been kind of stuck indoors for a little bit. We all went through the weather together. So everybody had something in commonality to talk about or whatever. And it was really refreshing. And like, even when Phil went to the restroom, I didn't even think about getting my phone out. I was just talking to the people next to me. And I noted it in my head, like, well, that's it. This should not be unique, but it was. And that is not happening. Like, even if you go sit anywhere by yourself, a coffee shop or wherever it is, people are constantly then on their phone to busy them. They're not looking at the people around them. It's crazy. And it's so obvious. But there is.
And kids too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They don't know. They're not learning the social skills. At least as an adult now, in this current stage, we learned how to socialize back then. And maybe now we are still relying a little bit on the tech to keep us busy. But it's like, to not ever learn the social skills is very scary.
So young people spend 45% more time alone than 15 years ago.
Yeeks.
The other one that kind of goes with this, and I can blame social media for just everything goes back to me to like sort of, 4.7 hours a day on social media. And social media puts you more polarized, less trusting, less compromise, less conversation. But 2/3 of Americans under 30 believe that most people can't be trusted. And there was another stat, I forget somewhere in here, but like just most people can be trusted in a survey. How many people say, yeah, most people can be trusted? It's only 30% of Americans believe most people can be trusted. That's one of the lowest points in the history of like recorded time. So we have more distrust in others, which is related. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, I don't believe you're going to be someone who adds value to me. I don't trust you.
It kind of goes to the fear tactics of the anxious generation,
100%.
Like now we're fearful that even our neighbors can harm us, because it's news. Like I'm not, but like, you know what I mean? But like there is this like, oh, the neighbor next door could be.
Well, what about yesterday? I told you I was selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace. What did you say?
I said, well, don't sell a toaster and give your life. Like I did. I said, don't meet anybody. Like, you're right. I did.
And I'm saying most people would have that reaction, not just you, but it's like, we're living in this place where it's like most people we don't trust.
Yeah. Right.
So anyways, but it's not without hope. I know that all of that was a little bit like, yikes, but I do think it's important to think about like, how will AI companions change this need for our kids to build real life social skills? And one of the teens on our advisory boards who I was messaging with said why she thinks kids use AI companions is so they always have something to do on their phone. So like it feels losery if everyone's checking their messages and then you kind of look at yours and you don't have any new messages. So she said that people use it so that because the AI companion responds instantly, you always have a message in there from your AI companion. You might be waiting on it from your real friend. I thought that was something really powerful in that observation.
I really don't like the being able to talk to AI like it's a friend and then romantic wherever that goes. It's like that is not okay for me. To use it as a tool, yes. To use it as a friend, no.
Did you ever? I agree. Did you ever watch this Joaquin Phoenix movie from
exactly what you're talking about.
A couple of decades ago at this point.
It's old. I know exactly what you're talking about. I never really watched it, but I know the concept of it.
Well, there's this one concept that I think of sometimes, which is like movies invent things that then inventors make into reality. So like even when you think of Minority Report or you think of these futuristic movies, even the Jetsons, for goodness sakes, like that is in our head of what the future looks like because some creative person like a long time ago thought we'd have these humanoid robots in the Jetsons and thought we'd have flying cars and thought we would have, all these things. And now we believe that that's possible in the future. We're trying to, what does Elon Musk always say, but like create the inevitable. It's like create the humanoid. Of course that's inevitable because we thought of that a long time ago, but it's like whoever created her was ahead of their time because they were imagining a world where you fall in love with AI companions before that was really a thing. But now, because we've seen that story, we've been introduced to that story. It's like, well, that's inevitable. We're going to build that. And it's like,
it's crazy.
I'm a little bit like to the movie makers. Be careful.
I know.
Stop. Like
I know.
Think harder about what you're saying is inevitable because people will build whatever you're thinking.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But like we have created this reality now of her where people are falling in love with, especially teens, because it's so awkward, you know?
People just want to feel loved. So if a bot does it versus actually going out and finding somebody, that's is scary.
So let's take one pivot point here, just because all of that sounds really scary. Two, there are a couple points of, I think, hope. 63% of Gen Z intentionally unplug now. It's like they know.
That's good.
They're choosing the highest rate of any generation. So more Gen Z people choose to unplug than adults. I think that's interesting. More than half of Americans are actively trying to find ways to spend less time on screens. Like now it's in the consciousness of
we got to get away
the
from
public.
This. Yeah.
And the one thing that they do with that screen time that they're trying to stop is spend more time with friends and family. So it's all, my hope is that like the pendulum is swinging back and it's entered our consciousness. It's like, wait a second.
Yeah.
I'm spending 7.5 days and I don't have many friends. Like, okay, let's like, let me redo some things in my life here. Like, let me consciously make some changes. And I also want to say this, like, I'm a tech optimist, all things considered. I absolutely believe we need regulation. I absolutely believe not all companies have the right incentives and won't get this right. So it's like, I'm not ignoring the scary stuff, but like, I believe there's a pathway here that could be net positive for humanity, for joy, for connection, if done correctly. So like, I'm going to be more outspoken on that going forward, of like how I could see it being positive. But like in my own home, we use a lot of technology, and my son is taking like an AI coding class, enrichment class. He's learning how to code at 7. He's vibe coding video games. And he loves it. And it's creative and it's interesting. My friend was over last week and she said, have you seen this AI prompt, or have you used this? But you can make your kids' art come to life.
Oh, yeah.
I think I sent it to you. So I went back through a lot of their old art and I put in that prompt. And like, let's say they created some weird creature
or something. Yeah.
You throw it into AI with the prompt, and we can put it in the show notes so people can like experiment with it. But just go to ChatGPT or Claude, preferably Claude, and put this prompt in, and it turns it into this really fun animated video that like my kids were loving it. Like loving it. And we went through a bunch of their old art and did this.
Super cool. Yeah.
Very fun. Grace is into cooking. And I will say, I was exhausted with the world of recipes when I had to scroll through your life story to try to like get down to the recipe. I love how it's like, give me a good gooey chocolate chip cookie recipe. Boom.
It's just so, I use it all the time for recipes too. It's like, hey, I got really this, and this.
Get the noise out of here. It's better than what we had before, because before it was 100%. Like,
well, it's just like, I have, ground turkey, this and this. What can I make that my kids will like? And it will come up with like very detailed stuff. It's great.
What else do you use it for, like for mom life?
I mean, obviously, you can use it for like recipes, going to the store, making healthy switches, like all those things, like make me a grocery list and I need to keep it low budget. And this is the meals that I would like to make, or even like come up with the meals, but this is like usually the proteins that we eat or whatever. It will come up with crazy stuff. I do that all the time. I use it for workouts a lot. I use it for like, how do
you use it for workouts?
Well, I have Instagram influencers that I followed too that will do different post of like a HIIT workout or like a quick, do this, 4 rounds of this, weightlifting type of thing. But you can use it for that. So you could say like, hey, I've got 15 minutes and I've got 2 dumbbells. What can I do? Blah, 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 to tone my arms, and it will give you really good workouts. So
eating plans, workout plans,
that type of stuff. And then anything writing, like even like kid invitations. It's like, I don't think about it anymore. I just say like, hey, we're having the party here. This, blah, 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 blah. Type me up an invitation and it will be wonderful. How do I respond to this email or what this person said to me? Like if somebody's going through a hard time and you don't know what to say to them, you can see what suggestions it will say. So like it helps you, in my opinion, with social skills if done correctly. Like it can prompt you, like if someone's grieving and you don't know what to say to them or going through a tough thing, it can help you kind of guide you what to say to them. So I use it. I use it for a lot of stuff.
I mentioned Valentina, who was living with us and just moved away, and she is from Colombia and English is her second language. But to watch her use it for making sure that what she's saying is proper English and like decoding slang and like watching it for language purposes has been really powerful. She's like, this is a complete game changer for me because I know English, I can hear it, but like I would always get nervous that my emails weren't professional or, you know, and she's like, I don't do anything without running it through there. And it's like, that's kind of a cool use case because she's getting up the learning curve faster with more support.
Totally.
And I think that's like all the language stuff. I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
I think it's great. There's a lot of good stuff. I do wonder, and this is a whole other podcast that we can have, but I do wonder like what to guide our kids to as far as skill sets for a career in the future that AI will not be doing. I find that whole topic fascinating. Phil and I love to talk about that. But
well, I was talking to Valentina again about, you know, her career or whatever. And she was really interested at one point in becoming a paralegal. And I advised her, I said, that career is going away. That's not a good one. You got to go full lawyer because the lawyer is what sanity checks, edits the last 20%. Like, but paralegal, we don't need it. It's already gone. That's not a good
I know
one.
It's crazy. Consultants, there's so many consulting jobs that are no longer needed. Before 2 years ago, even when you said or asked me, like if anybody did, you know, what jobs are going away because of AI, I couldn't have answered that. I didn't understand AI to the degree that I do now to even be able to say like, oh, I have no idea. Like, oh, I could do this. I don't know. I could take this, you know, like now I see so clearly the jobs that it can take because of just like the marketing of it all too. You do not have to have a full marketing team anymore because it can spit out so much stuff for you. Like, you know, you still have to have somebody be able to do some of the grind.
You need the editing and you need the templates almost for it to put out anything good.
Right.
If you're picky. I know some people create it looks fine, but like if you have a brand kit and if you have all these things you're trying to like be consistent with, you do have to enter it just right. And then, you know, you and I aren't happy with a lot of what it puts out. We go,
yeah, but like the brainstorm of it all is amazing.
Totally.
What's a catchy phrase? You know, like all those things.
Totally.
It's insane what it can do. So, and like even just like contracts. Like you're talking about paralegals, it's like some people used to have to read through all of these contracts to be able to decide for many different purposes, you know, hiring people, hiring contractors, even selling your company, you know, all these things. And it's like those, you can just put that in there and it will tell you all the things you need to like make sure in the contract now. You don't even need help with that anymore. Obviously you have to like overlook it. It's not 100% right, but it's crazy.
Well, we're at the beginning of what agents can do. So like right now, a lot is still like search and information and creation of assets. And like, it's good at that. It's good at, hey, take a look at this or tweak this image and do this. But what it's going to do is, hey, book that trip for me.
I know.
Hey, don't just give me the grocery list, but like put it on my, you know, my other app that I use for grocery shopping, right? Separate your work. Put it down below. I need to check my fridge. But it's like, it's going to be able to do that next step.
That's going to be wild.
Which should be really interesting. And that's coming like now / it's already here in some ways.
Well, let's put a pin in that one and have a whole podcast on what to guide our kids to do for future careers.
Well, I have some thoughts quickly.
Oh, okay.
Which we can even cut down. But here's what I talked to Chris about this. We kind of thought like, what's the level? And again, I have a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old. This is a different game if you have kids in high school.
Totally.
Or even late middle school. But AI use in my house can be used by the kids, but I have to be there. Like I am not putting ChatGPT or Claude on their device in the same way that I don't let them have internet access yet. I've taken off Safari and Chrome because I don't want to open up the full internet to them. So I don't have it on their iPads, but if they want it, they come to me and they know they can use it for different things. And I am teaching them about it. So I'm not hiding it. I said, this is what it can do. This is how I use it. If you want to do any of this stuff, like come through me. So I'm not making it scary, but I am controlling the access of it. The other thing is we are a hard no on AI companions. Yeah. Like, and I even talked to Grace about like, I don't want you using it like this. If you ever see it or whatever. Like, that's not something I want you to do. And here's why. And like, I think that's a good conversation. But because I'm also like forbidding Snapchat and controlling access, hopefully she won't have access to it. It's easier now. But if your kid's already on Snapchat, that Pandora's box is already open. They might already be doing it. You might not even know. Right. So like, it's a good conversation to at least increase their kids' awareness about like why that might not be good or how to use it and how not to use it. And I just think a lot of parents, the kids are more tech savvy than the parents. They don't even know. Yeah. So it's like, hopefully this raises some awareness. A lot of talks with the kids about how the internet's not always right. Like, even ChatGPT, even Claude, these are not always right. Yeah. Like, there's a learning module there about what you can trust and what not, and open up the conversation with like, hey, you can always come talk to me. You know, I would rather you ask me whatever question than try to like ask Google or ask ChatGPT. Yeah. I also believe we absolutely need safer versions for kids. So this is a PSA, like safer versions. And this is why I switched to Claude. So I kind of alluded to this earlier. Yeah. But ChatGPT has done a dog shit job with parental controls. Yeah. They have made it crazy easy to circumvent, and they serve up information when you're not logged in. So I could prompt it for something that is completely not suitable for a, let's say, under 13-year-old. And it will give you an answer, and you don't need to be logged in to get that answer. That's completely unacceptable to me. Yeah. Like, it's one thing if you're going to give that answer, but they need to be age verified and logged in to serve up anything not suitable for work. And they're about to launch adult mode, by the way, which is full-fledged porn. Oh my. Without parental controls in place. All you have to do, they added parental controls to get around it. You just log out. Yeah. That's it. Like, that's so easily circumventable. So Anthropic, which is the other, you probably heard, OpenAI and Anthropic and Google are kind of, and we'll give Elon, X. Those are the four that are really like, you hear about them the most in terms of like leading the charge. X and ChatGPT have done a horrific job with parental controls. So this is just like for now, and this is subject to change. We'll see how they evolve, but you're much better off going with a Google Gemini or a Anthropic Claude than you are with the other two, in terms of they have some safety protocols in there to not serve up information if you're not logged in, which is like the bare freaking minimum in my mind. They also have designed the AI to be less dangerous, which is what I really like about Anthropic. Like, if I went in there and said, how do I build a chemical weapon? It's actually trained not to give you the answer to how to build a chemical weapon. How do I build a gun from 3D printed parts? It's trained not to give you specific answers. So like, they're just doing a better job on like really basic levels of safety, and they've thought about it more and they're prioritizing that more. So like, this is a PSA. You just go to claude.ai on the web, or you go into your app store and look for Claude, CLAUDE. And then you could also do Google Gemini if you're a Google fan. But both of those have done a much better job thinking through like some of the dangerous stuff.
I also you've made me switch and not made me, just suggested, and I did switch.
I actually think it's better.
I've had such a better experience with Claude. I really like it. I mean, it's similar, especially for some of those silly mom use cases I was telling you about. But to me, it's better even for all of those. I've gotten quicker, better responses, and it's great. Yeah. So highly recommend.
I will also say, if any of you are in the workforce, Claude Code is unmatched right now in terms of like I have an idea and I'm turning it into actual code. It's not even close. So it's leading in code. They're leading in a bunch of areas, but I prefer it because I know they've thought through some of these disastrous safety things. And I do not trust OpenAI. So we used OpenAI, and trust me, I get it. It's good. We used it for a long time, but I've made the switch. I swear Claude's better.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. All right. Awesome. But I think this is one we should like check in with, because this is like evolving, and like I'd be curious when you and Phil talk, like maybe it's exactly the same, or maybe there's different things that you're comfortable with.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think we're pretty much similar. We have not had, again, kids being the age they are, which is 9 and 7 and 3. We have not had to deal with the the chat version of that, or the companion. We are very anti-phones, anti-social media.
Yeah.
We're going to align with this as well. It's kind of common sense as a parent. Again, it's harder when you have older kids already involved in it. It's a different ballgame. I'm not there yet.
It'd be fun. Let's try to find a teen who uses an AI companion and just do an interview with them.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun and interesting?
For sure.
Or even like interview moms who are dealing with this at a like high school, middle school. Because the other thing that came up, which I think is really interesting, but some of the kids are nervous they're going to get accused of plagiarizing.
Yeah.
If they use it, and like, did they change it enough? Did they, you know what I mean? But it's like, there's a fear around, I don't want to look like I copy and pasted this because that's not going to work, and I don't want to get in trouble for plagiarizing.
Yeah. Interesting. Well,
okay.
All right. Well, that was also the tech tip. I imagine that was a really good tech tip.
We'll skip my tech tip. Use Claude. Okay. What's your obsession?
All right. So I kind of was keeping with the theme, but you introduced me to an app that is using AI, but I thought it was really quite fun, called Alta, ALTA. And it's basically a fashion for your closet. And I've tried different apps in the past that said they did something similar and did not have a good experience. This one is really fun, and the tech's getting better, but essentially you can find all of the items that you wear all the time and just keep adding over time items in your closet. So like I was taking pictures of it and it would recognize it and then pull it up. But you can also just type in like, I'm wearing this sweater from Target, like the brand, and it will pull it up and find it. And then it's in your closet version, your digital closet. And then it will come up with outfits for you. So it's basically your stylist. So it's been really fun. So I just have put in a couple items in my closet so far. I keep adding every day, but it's nice. It's like, it does for specific things like dinner date, girl date, going out, office, this, I'm going here, like all kinds of different occasions, but it will pull from your closet and come up with a lot of different creations for you as far as what to wear. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Well, I like it I feel like I'm particular on my style. It's like, I don't need you to put together new outfits. I guess it's kind of interesting in case I didn't think of something, but I like it for the planning. I can kind of go, okay, what's my outfits for the week? Okay, I'm going to wear that. I'm going to wear that. That's good. Yeah. That's good. It's like, I find that fun and helpful. And I will say the ingest of your closet is easier and better than I've seen before. Yeah. So I like that, where I can just search and it's actually finding it. Did you create your own avatar to try it on?
Not yet. No, I need to do that because I'm sure I'll love that too. But I will say the one issue I have right now is that when I physically took a picture of the things in my closet, it made it easier and faster, but the pictures aren't as good. They're kind of like not good versions because I just like laid my pants on the floor and took a picture of them. It's like not quite as good. If you search for the item, they look better. So I just need to do a little more prep.
You can like go to an order confirmation and then forward all your things that you bought to it, and it will add it. That one I've used and that one works well. Yeah. So I think it's fun. Yeah. I think it's like coming along. The avatar, I think it uses Gen AI, not unlike Soro but you just upload a full body picture and one of your face, and then it puts you in the outfits, and it's not bad. I mean, it didn't quite get my height, and I wanted to like tweak my avatar, and I didn't have that ability yet, but it gives you kind of a good like, okay, I can kind of see myself in that.
Well, I'm not doing stuff every day. I don't need it for the planning, but I do have like events in the future. Like, I'm going to this work 3-day event, or I am going on a girls' night, come up with a fun outfit that's just different than, I like to play around more on those fun nights where I'm like, to your point, I have a lot of the same outfits that I wear. But for this, I'm finding it like, I never thought to match that skirt with that. Okay. Let me try it.
Yeah. So the AI stylist is actually helpful.
Kind of. Yeah. I'm in the early stages still, but it's been fun.
Well, that's how they pitch the whole business, as an AI fashion stylist.
Yeah. Well, anyways, Alta, it's a fun app. Download it today. Take the time to prep and get the stuff from your closet and have some fun.
Well, speaking of stylists, I'm obsessed with the new season of Queer Eye.
Oh, so good.
It's just the world's been dark and I needed something really light and feel good. And man, does this show deliver on that. They always pick the best people.
They do. And like this season, so I'm a couple episodes in, so I haven't finished the whole season.
Me either. I'm halfway
there. But they had some ones that like this girl I just watched was like a tough cookie, as they called her. But she was not giving in. She was a little hard. And I was like, oof, I kind of like that they had somebody like this, though, because usually everyone kind of leans into the experience, and she was not leaning in. And they really had to work for it. And it was just cute at the end. But I don't know. I find it to be very easy watching, very charming. And there's always like a nice little story with it. I really do like it. Good.
It just feels good. It's a warm hug. So anyways, that was my
and I love obsession. A makeover. I mean, there's just nothing better for me. So it like gives with like a good story, maybe a tear and a good makeover. Oh, and oh my gosh, I'm failing on his name. Who's the new designer? Nate's husband.
Jeremy.
Oh, he's the best. Jeremiah.
So cute. Jeremiah.
He's
Thank you.
So you were close. Like, we pulled it together. Right. Yeah. He is like such a great addition. And I just really like his style. Everything he does, I'm like, yep, that's great. Yep. You're so good.
I know. I also love on the fashion side, they don't try to change the people too much. Like if it was somebody who likes to wear shorts, they just kind of zhuzh up your shorts. They're still letting you. I kind of like that because they're not like making you into somebody that you're not, or that it wouldn't work with your life.
Dan is great.
Yeah,
he's really good. They're all very good at their job, like their role, whatever their skill set is. So yeah, okay, good one, good call out.
All right, well that's all she wrote.
That's a wrap, baby.
All right, rate us please if you haven't already. Follow us on all the things. If you have a kid between 8 and 12, try out sagehavenforkids.com. We zhuzhed up our website. We'd love your feedback.
Yeah.
So, all right. Thanks, everybody.
Lilas.
Lilas.